what they discovered is that in the government they found some people that were coding in operating system languages that most common people today don't have never heard of before.
Yeah.
You mean like COBOL?
COBOL is
COBOL.
COBOL
That's the
is
one specifically that I was referring to.
yeah, COBOL is but it's a very stable programming language if it's maintained correctly.
Yeah.
Quick
Well, if you
question.
have a
Quick question, I guess, for Huey. I was playing with my Zoom earlier and my backgrounds earlier, and whether my camera was reversed or not. So I see my background that says Central Florida Computer Society in reverse on my screen. Is it
It
We're
looks
saying it correctly.
it looks perfect here.
okay? All right. Yeah, I'm
Okay,
trying. I'm
Mike,
trying to record the screen of a Zoom session with my phone, and in order to get the phone to show it correctly, I have to actually unreverse it. So just curious, I had left it that. All right.
okay, and don't forget to introduce it so I can
Yep.
edit out and edit it up to that point. So I'm going to mute.
Okay, well, this is the Central Florida Computer Society's main meeting. It is February 16th, and we are commencing following the Windows SIG for STUG and CFCS. And I have a few things to go over here before we have our speaker, Drew King, talk to us about phone apps. I'm going to share my screen. Famous last words. Yeah, let's show that down. Let's shove this over. This is our website, cfcs.org. Assuming you're looking at the website. And it has links for the social activities that we're involved in. And one of our primary social activities is to use a Discord VBS, which Huey and I have talked about in the past. And in order to access it, you need an account on Discord. And then coming back to this page again, an invitation link to join it. So it's not open to the whole world unless you've actually received this link. And what is Discord? Discord looks this way by default. You can actually change it and make it a lighter view, but by default it comes up with black with white print and so on. And it's set up kind of like the old bulletin board systems were when we used to have dial-up bulletin board systems. And when you join, you'll show up with a, hey, hi, I've just come in and joined. And then we give you access. And we have announcements and comments and things like that. And then we have some sections if you want to ask a question, technical question. And when we have a chance to see it, and one of our experts, if you will, or just one of our friendly members will jump in and try to answer your question. We have organizations that I've put by category information about, like the Association of PC User Groups, the Chicago Computer Society, Geeks on Tour, who are competing with us this afternoon. But if you miss their program this afternoon, it'll be archived here and you can go back and watch it. I get Kim Commando's newsletter on a regular basis, and so I usually post some of her articles. We have a link to STUG. It's for the Sarasota Technology User Group and their meetings. And Huey is a member of Tech for Senior. Bill James was with us earlier. They're on Tech for Senior, and their activities are also archived here. We have a section on operating systems, and today we're going to talk about apps for Android. And once Drew is finished, he'll probably feed what Drew's information was into an AI and let it summarize it. And we'll post some of that there. We also have information on the Apple operating systems and on Linux and on Windows. After that, we have tech channels, and they're organized alphabetically by subject. And if for some reason there's something here that you don't see that you would be interested in seeing some posts on, or you want to post it yourself, you just put a comment or a direct email to me, and I can put a new section in very easily. But what might you be missing if you're not a member of our group? So we know that Huey is focused really on trying to decipher AI for all of us. And a lot of the times I will find some items and I'll post it here for Huey to take a look at, or I'll take things from Huey's monthly meetings and I'll post some of that. But one of the more recent one was a post from CNET, which is an online publisher, for their new AI Atlas, where they're attempting to consolidate a lot of AI resources. So if you were not a subscriber, you wouldn't be seeing this. And if you are a subscriber, there's new information that's just been posted. And as you can see, there's quite a bit of content here. So I will scroll down and show you something that, again, if you're not presently on here, President's Day is coming up. And President's Day, like many other holidays, have special sales. And so I've picked two activities, one from Tom's Hardware and one's from The Verge, with the best President's sales. So if you're looking for a bargain, you should join our Discord. And this afternoon, you could be looking at the sales that you might be saving some money on. So just for your information, that's a quick look. And again, how do you get there? CFCS.org and set up a Discord account, and then come back and click on this invitation, and you'll be able to pop in today. One other item that Huey didn't mention, maybe it was too modest to mention it today, but I'm going to give him a little bit of promotion. All of us work for the large salary of zero, doing this as volunteers. And from time to time, our volunteers ask that if you like what they're doing, if you feel that you have gotten some value of what they're doing, buy them a cup of coffee. So if you go to huey.net, where all of the information on the Windows SIG and much more is posted, you will see a form where you can buy him a cup of coffee. You can do it one time, or you can do it monthly. And as you can see, these $8 for a cup of coffee is pretty cheap these days, especially if you go out to some of these coffee bars that are in town. So again, huey.net, and you can just click and donate. I like that it's powered by AOFI. You're more than welcome, Huey. We really appreciate it. Let me stop my video. Oops. Wrong thing. Let me stop sharing. That's what I wanted to do. Okay, so we are fortunate to have Drew King with us today. He is with the Sarasota Technology User Group, and he has been one of our more prolific presenters over the last several months. And we decided that a good topic would be to review what is available as applications and some of the things that Drew really likes. So Drew, you've got it. Take it away.
All right. I am going to share my screen and click. I don't know if I need to share sound, but I will. And I have, let's minimize that and get these controls out of the way. Hide floating controls. All right. So most of you should see an iCloud Drive rClone window and my cell phone on the other side.
We do.
I just wanted to very briefly mention that rClone, a program that I'm not going to really be covering in the meeting, is a cloud mounting utility that I use to map drives to Google and pCloud and Microsoft and other places. Apple has always been very closed society, and somehow I don't know who did the work, but the people at rClone have now developed support for iCloud Drive, so that you can now, following their instructions, map a drive on Windows or Linux. You don't have to have a Mac anymore. You can be on Linux and mount a folder to an iCloud drive, and also on Windows. All you need to do is follow their instructions. And I'm going to be doing this with a friend of mine next week who has an iCloud account and an Apple device. I have an iCloud account, but I don't have an iPhone or an iPad to use to accept the two-factor authentication that they require. So I'm just going to just say that and move on. Um, I created a list of about 30 apps, and I don't know if I'm going to get through all of them or not. So I put them all in my Joplin database, and I have it here as a note. And every single app, whether I cover it or not, I'm going to convert this into a PDF file, and we can send this out to the group. We can post it on the Discord. Anybody that doesn't have it can ask me for it. So that you can look through these apps and see if anything looks like it might be interesting to you. The first one that I want to show off that I just learned about a day ago is a program called iSync. And it is an Android software program that gives you access to your Apple infrastructure if you have one. And on the left side of the screen, over here, I need to restart there we go. Over here, I have this program called iSync, and if I tap it and go into it, it's going to bring up a menu, and here are Apple Photos, Apple Mail, iCloud Drive, Apple Contacts, Notes, Reminders, Find My iPhone. I don't have any of these features, so I can't click on them, but I do have an iCloud Drive. So if I click on iCloud Drive, it redirects me to iCloud. And here is what is in my iCloud Drive. I have just a couple of things that I put in there yesterday. And what I'm going to do is bring up Firefox and go to my iCloud Drive. And you'll see that on my cell phone, I have this little icon here that says upload. This indicates upload to the cloud. And this is create a new folder. So I can create a new folder, and I'll call it CFCS. And then I'll go into CFCS and I'll upload a file, and I'll do Media Picker, and I'll go into here and we'll grab a file, and it's going to upload that file. And you'll see over on the right hand side of my screen, it's already showing in my browser the fact that I created a folder called CFCS in my iCloud Drive. And if I go in here, there's the KeyPass.dx file that I just loaded on my cell phone. So this gives you the ability to access your iCloud Drive and copy files from your iPhone, your Android phone, to your iCloud Drive if you have one. The only person that I know of is Huey, that has an Android cell phone and also has an iCloud account. And now Huey can take a file off his Android phone and move it over to his iPad by simply putting it in his iCloud and then accessing the iCloud from his iPad.
Can you do it in reverse?
Do you have any questions about that?
Can you do it in reverse?
You can basically, this is showing you what's in your iCloud. I can click on these three dots and download a copy of a file. So yes, if I put something in my iCloud and I want to put it onto my computer, onto my phone, I can simply click on the download a copy button and it will download it to my phone. So this gives you two-way access between iCloud and your Android phone. And you can see I'm accessing iCloud on Windows through just a regular browser, through the Firefox web browser. So that's the first program that I wanted to show everybody. And we'll get out of there. And now I can minimize the browser and go back to here. The next program that I wanted to show everybody was a program called NetShare. And all of the apps that I'm showing are in the Google Play App Store. I get them from anywhere else, although you can get Android software from other places. This NetShare no root tethering is a program that allows you to create a Wi-Fi hotspot and share your cellular data, even if you don't have a tethering plan or a hotspot plan, or if your hotspot is blocked, or in my case, my phone plan has unlimited hotspot, unlimited data, only they throttle it down to about 3 to 4 megabytes per second. So if I connect a laptop to my cell phone as a hotspot, I get 3 megabytes per second, and it doesn't work very well. The NetShare program, sorry about this, that's my Alexa in the background. I don't know how it got activated. NetShare, if you run it on your cell phone, it comes up looking like this. And then you say start Wi-Fi hotspot. And it creates a hotspot called Direct NS hotspot, and a password. You can change that to whatever you want it to be. And then it has down here a set of connection instructions. If I click on that, it tells you exactly what to do on each platform. So if your other device happens to be an Android device, you launch NetShare on that device and hit the connect button, which is up here. If you're on Windows, from your Windows computer, you open up a browser and go to this address and follow the instructions. And basically what it does, it creates, if I go into my Windows taskbar, actually, if I go here, it says, if you see here, it says VPN. If I click on this, I now have a NetShare VPN option because I followed these instructions once already on my computer. And essentially what this does, it creates a private VPN between Windows and your cell phone. And it uses your regular data plan through that VPN and ignores your cellular carrier's limitations or lack thereof on hotspots and gives you full access. So if you have, I can get 100 megabyte or 200 megabyte or 300 megabytes per second download speed on my laptop. So if my Comcast cable goes out and I have cellular service, but I don't have Comcast, I connect this up here instead. And it gives you the ability to hook as many computers as you want. And it shows you how to connect other devices. The instructions for Windows and Mac are the same. It works with Linux. I've tried it. And it gives you a hotspot feature that you wouldn't otherwise have if you had a poor cellular data plan or a discount plan, something like that. Fred, you have a question.
Drew, what about the security with these Wi-Fi hotspots? What do you do about that?
Well, you give it a password, so it's and this is showing the password on my cell phone because I'm looking at my phone. But if you were in a public place, somebody would have to guess the name of your hotspot name, and they would have to guess your password. So it's the same thing as if they were. I only use this ever if I'm in my house. If I go out someplace, on a sometimes if I visit a customer site and I need to download some files and I don't want to get my laptop or my Chromebook on their network, I will use my cell phone as a local hotspot and not bother connecting to their network. But if I click on configure hotspot, you can change the password to whatever password you want to put in there. And you can change the name of the hotspot to be whatever you want it to be. So does that answer your question? Bill?
Yeah, that's limited security. Password protection is limited security. You mentioned elsewhere you need two-factor authentication. You don't need two-factor authentication with this?
Well, when you connect up to the Wi-Fi in your house, you click on the name of your SSID, and then you punch in the password. You don't do two-factor authentication to connect to your router. And this is the same way.
Um, Drew, my question was, how is that different from the application that's already on your phone, or is it just phone specific? Like I have a mobile, I can access a mobile hotspot from my phone without having to, um,
If you have it all depends on what kind of cellular service you have. If you pay uh, a top tier provider like Verizon, T-Mobile, or AT&T, and you pay them $100 a month for a plan that includes hotspot with high speed, then you don't need this. I'm on a $25 a month plan, and I have only 3 megabytes per second limit on my hotspot.
okay.
I can get 200 or 300 megabytes per second if I use this program instead.
Well, I think, well, I don't know, my cell phone apparently has, um, the hotspot included in the plan. So I'm not paying extra for it, to my knowledge, other than I'm
Right.
paying, for the service.
Right. So
So I would
if
not
you
need
have
to use.
so you're not a candidate for this, basically.
Okay,
Um,
that was my point. That was my question.
right. Um, the next program that is in the list is called Pair VPN, and I won't go into the complete details of this. This is a very similar program, also in the Google Play App Store, and it does the same thing essentially. What you do is you use your phone's standard hotspot feature, and you connect your laptop up to your phone's hotspot, and then it has a client for Windows, a Pair VPN client for Windows, and it allows you to establish a VPN connection between your cell phone and your Windows computer. So what it does is it bypasses the block that your cellular carrier puts on your Wi-Fi hotspot. This is just another program that's available in the Play Store for people who either don't have a hotspot feature on their plan or have a terrible hotspot feature on their plan. Um, and pairvpn.com has the software for Windows that I have installed on my Windows laptop to do this. So NetShare uses the built-in Windows VPN feature. ParaVPN uses its own dedicated software. It's two different methods to achieve the same result, essentially. Um, the difference is ParaVPN only supports one connection. You can't do two. This has you can put as many as you want over here. So I normally recommend NetShare. But ParaVPN I discovered first and it works. So I threw it in there. Um, Clip Cloud is a clipboard syncing tool, and it works through Google Chrome through a plugin. And it works with Windows, and it works with Linux, and it probably works with a Mac. Um, and I know that on Linux, I like to share my clipboard sometimes with my cell phone. And if you have the Clip Cloud app on your phone and you have the Clip Cloud Chrome extension in your browser, it uses the Google Chrome synchronization feature. So you're logged to in the background so that if any time I put something in my clipboard, I can paste it. If I run the program, the last thing that I put into my clipboard on my Chromebook on my cell phone was this right here. And if I click on send, it sends it to my cell phone to my Windows computer. So now I can paste it into my uh, computer. Um, so that's basically how ClipCloud works. Copilot I put in here just because for those of you who didn't know or don't know that there is a Copilot app for your phone, um, there is, and I recommend that people take advantage of it. And this is available not just on Android, but it's available on the iPhone as well. The next program is called Cryptomator. Cryptomator is a program for people that would like to encrypt the data that they have on their cloud service. So if you are using Microsoft or Google or some other cloud provider and your data is unencrypted on the server and you would like to protect your data from prying eyes, Cryptomator runs on Android, it runs on the iPhone, it runs on the Mac OS, it runs on Linux, and it runs on Windows. And it's a way for you to encrypt your data in the cloud so that you don't expose your personal financial files to Google, for example. I don't encrypt absolutely everything that I put in the cloud, but my financial records, my medical records, my legal records, they're all inside a Cryptomator vault. So this is open source. The only thing that they do charge for is the mobile apps. The desktop apps are free. They charge, I think, $14 or $15 for the mobile app. So you have to know whether or not you really want to start using it on the desktop. And if it's something that you think that you don't need on your mobile, you can leave it off the mobile, or you can buy the companion product for the mobile. I justify the $15 cost on the phone by saying that, if you wanted to buy cloud storage that had end-to-end encryption, you would pay more per month for that cloud encrypted storage. So that would offset if you go with Google or Microsoft. They support, if I say create a new vault, they support Dropbox, Google Drive, OneDrive, pCloud, WebDAV, S3, and local storage. So if you want to do encryption, and again, if you want to talk about this further offline with me, you're more than welcome to contact me at any time, and I'll give you some more information about Cryptomator. The next one is for those of you who are dog lovers. I visit a dog park with my dog several times a week, and this particular dog scanner, you point it at the dog that you want to find out what its breed is, and it scans it, and it comes up and tells you what kind of dog it is. And I was at the park last week, and I saw a dog that was all black, and I took a picture of the dog, and the app came back and told me that it was a German Shepherd. and I had never seen a German Shepherd that looked like this. And the owner was standing right there, and I said, "Is your dog really a, a German Shepherd?" And he said, "Yes, actually, he is a German Shepherd." So um, you can even scan pictures. If you have a picture in your library, you can go through and find a picture of a dog and say, "I'd like to scan the dog," and it will try and identify the breed of the dog. Um, the next app, now this is an app that I've known about for years. Many of you have probably known about for years. It's the DuckDuckGo web browser. And the reason that I am talking about it is not because of its private browsing functions, but because I learned that the DuckDuck on Android, on iOS, Mac OS, and Windows. Unfortunately, Linux users are out of luck. There is no DuckDuckGo private browser for Linux. The DuckDuckGo browser, if I go into, you'll see here it says turn on Duck Player to watch without targeted ads. If I turn on the Duck Player, I'm going to go into settings and scroll down, and you'll see settings. And down here, there's a thing called Duck Player. The Duck Player is included with all of their browsers. And the Duck Player lets you watch YouTube without targeted ads in DuckDuckGo. So it's not a browser plugin. So YouTube doesn't see that you're doing anything. It just plays all YouTube videos without advertising. So that you don't, I'm not a big YouTube person. I don't get on YouTube every day and watch stuff, and I don't feel as though it's worth my while to spend $14 a month to watch one video, if that. So if you're an infrequent video user and you just don't want to watch ads, the DuckDuckGo web browser is a way to watch ad-free YouTube videos. This app I can skip for now. The Amazon Fire TV, if you have an Amazon Fire Stick, let me get out of this. If you have an Amazon Fire Stick, I highly recommend the Fire TV application for Android. It's very good because it has a feature in it that lets you, let me turn off my VPN because my VPN is stopping me from using this. And now I will go into Fire TV and I will refresh. Come on, refresh. No, it's not showing it's not showing my my Fire TVs. Oh well. Look again. Oh, there we go. Here's Fire TV Cube. So second Fire TV Cube. There we go. Now, if I tap the keyboard, I can enter text. And if you need to type, if you're going to go into your Fire Stick and you're going to search for a movie or search for an app or search for anything, the Android app lets you type on your phone rather than having to use the remote on your screen. So that's just a nice added convenience. The next app that I use religiously once a week is the Florida Lottery app. Inside the Florida Lottery app, you can, if you purchase a lotto ticket or a Powerball ticket or Mega Millions, there is an option to check and see if you have won. If I go into Florida Lotto, it tells me the winning numbers, and somewhere in here is the ability to scan Scratch offs, favorites, check my ticket. And then you can scan a barcode. And if I had a ticket to scan, I could scan my Florida Lotto ticket or any Powerball ticket or Mega Millions ticket and find out whether or not I'm a millionaire. So that's that. Folder Sync is an app that lets you back up data that you have on your Android phone to a cloud drive that on an automatic basis. For example, I keep music on my phone. I have a text messaging program called Signal that is not backed up automatically to Google by the phone, and I want to back those files up. So I use Folder Sync to, if you create a new folder pair, you can do a two-way, left to right, right to left, and you can say that you would like to go to OneDrive. If I say add account, you'll see all of the different places where you can share your data to. And it's a very effective program if you have files on your phone that you want backed up. This is a good way to do it. I have this run every day to back up my text messaging. The next program, some of you might be familiar with, it's called Local Send. And Local Send is a way to send files, folders, and your clipboard to nearby devices. If I open, do I have it open here? Yes, I do. So here it is on my computer. And if I want to send from my cell phone, I click on the send button and it's already identified my computer, my laptop here, and I can send a file, I could send media, I could paste my clipboard. This is another way of pasting your clipboard from your phone to Windows or from Windows to your phone. If I were to put something in my clipboard and hit paste, it's going to, and then click on MSI. Here is what's in the clipboard on my cell phone, and I can copy it into the clipboard on my Windows computer. So this is a way of transferring files between devices. And one of the nice ways of getting this done is if you click on the gear, share via link. Oh, I got to select a file first. I'm sorry. Let me select a file. And then I will click here and say share via link. And I can click on here. Oops. Where is the QR? Let me get that out of the way. So now it's sending the document to my file, to my computer. Oops. So Local Send is another app that I highly recommend that people look at for sharing data between local devices. And if I click on Send and I click on S23, let me click on a file. I want to show off one feature that I haven't shown yet. Let's go to here and here and here. If I click on the gear and say share via link, I can share it via QR code. So let's say you have a picture that you took with your Android phone and you would like to share it with somebody that has an iPhone, you can have that person with an iPhone scan this QR code. So long as both of you are on the same local Wi-Fi network, it will automatically fill in the web link, and it will allow you to transfer a file from one device to another device. Very handy to have. The next program on the list is only for people that need to or want to be able to connect large hard drives to their cell phones. Cell phones don't support large EXFAT drives or even NTFS drives at all. This EXFAT NTFS program for Android, which is in the Google Play App Store, lets you plug hard drives, USB hard drives, into your Android phone and access them, even if they're formatted with NTFS. So that's for those of you who are a little more technical, and you might run into a need for this at some point. Keep that in your bag of tricks. This next one, Mutify, is a neat little program that works with the program Spotify. And what it does is, I'm again not interested in spending money every month for Spotify and Amazon Music and Apple Music and YouTube Music. I'm more than happy to go with the basic plan. The basic plan has ads. What this program does is you run the program and you open Spotify from within Mutify. And what it does is it listens for the difference between what's music and what's a commercial. And when a commercial comes on, it mutes your phone for 15 or 30 seconds. And then after the commercial is over, it unmutes your phone and lets you go back to playing music. And that's also in the Google Play App Store. The next program that this is one that I found a few weeks ago. This is if you're driving in your car. This is not a map that I would use for navigation. I have an old car. It's 15 years old, and it has a navigation system screen. Only the maps are really out of date. And I'm just one of these techie people that likes to drive around and see what's going on around me on the maps and see what street I'm on, what streets I'm approaching. If you go into organic maps, this is my house. This is where we're located right now. I can zoom out and you'll see that I'm in Sarasota. And what's nice about this is if you bring it up on your cell phone, it will track your motion while you're driving. Google Maps only tracks you when you are using it as a navigation program. So if you have a destination program, it will follow you along on the map. But if you're just driving around town and you're just curious about what streets are in the area, this map program, if you load it, will follow you around on this, and it will show you what all of the streets are. If you're zoomed in close enough, you can see all the streets. So this is just a nice to have if you're interested. The next app is an AI app called Perplexity. Again, this is just something that Huey recommended to me. The application Perplexity, it's available on your web browser. It's also available on your cell phone. And if you ask it a question, it's really good at providing answers. And I find it to be a very good go-to tool for answering questions on my cell phone. Now, If you are in public and you're scanning a QR code, sometimes you don't know if the QR code is a safe code. Trend Micro came out with this QR scanner, and what it does is you safely it will automatically check with Trend Micro's database of malicious websites and let you know if the URL inside this QR code is malicious or not. Um, so that is a QR scanner. I know that your phone camera can be a QR scanner, but it doesn't check the URL for malicious URLs. This one is kind of like having antivirus for your QR code scanner. Um, these next two I'm skipping over. Send Anywhere. This is a really neat program. Send Anywhere runs on Windows, Mac, Linux, iOS, and Android. And I can literally go in here and send, you create an account and you can send a file from one of your devices to one of your other devices, no matter where they are. They don't have to be on the same Wi-Fi or not, because it uses an account that you create with Send Anywhere if you chose to do that. You can use their web browser. If you go to send-anywhere.com. If you go to Send Anywhere on your computer, and this can be on Windows, Linux, or Mac, you can send a file or receive files. If I want to send this file and say send, here is a code 649980. If I want to receive this file, I'd input this code 649980 in here and click on the download button, and it will, after a few seconds, skip the ad, and now it's connecting to my cell phone and receiving that file. And there it is. Fred, you have a question?
What is the size limitation? And also, as always, I'm concerned about security.
If you are using two computers, uh, um, the only way to get the files transferred from one computer to the other is for you to punch that one-time code into the other computer. Um, the activation code is good only one time. And if you create an account, you can trust your devices so that you don't have to put in the code each time. But if you just want to transfer a phone from, let's say, your Windows computer to your wife's iPhone, or your Mac computer from your Windows computer, on the Mac, you go to sendanywhere.com, and on the Windows, you go to sendanywhere.com. One of them is going to be the sender, one of them is going to be the receiver. If
Is
I
there
want to
any
send,
any encryption? And again, what is the file size limitation?
I don't know that there is a file size limitation. I've done gigabytes. I've done files that are several gigabytes actually, and they work fine. I don't know what the level of encryption is that's there. Um, but like I said, if you're doing this in your house, you could be doing it between two Windows computers in your house. It's not going anywhere.
And we'll put we'll put an article out with links to all these apps. So for Send Anywhere specifically, you'll have the website for the app and be able to get more information on it.
And I'm going to give you this document that includes the list of all of the apps. So you'll have this whole document to take home with you when the presentation's over.
Now,
Um,
some of these apps are a flat fee, and some are free.
I don't pay for any of these. None of the apps that I'm showing you, I pay a dime for.
There was one that I saw. There was a flat fee. I can't remember which one you showed us.
Uh,
Oh,
organic
oh, oh!
maps, music.
It was on it was the Windows version of one of them. Um,
Yeah, you did mention that the Windows version required a fee, but if you just use it on the phone, there was no charge.
mhm.
Um,
But we'll research that, make sure
I
it's.
don't remember which one that was.
I
Yeah,
don't either.
is
SMS,
what are the synchronizing either synchronizing or file transfers
um, yeah, I don't remember which one.
or local?
Um, I don't pay for anything I'm showing you. Um, the program called SMS Backup and Restore has a free version and a pro version. This is one of the only Android apps that I actually pay for. It does a really good job of backing up your SMS messages and MMS messages, and you can have it synchronize them to a cloud server. So I back up to OneDrive, and so it backs up once a day my SMS text messages and my call logs to my Microsoft OneDrive account. And if you ever lose your phone and you want to get your text messages back from years ago, this is the only way that I know of on Android to do it. Um, I keep lots of data, some data on my phone, and there are applications on my phone that create data that doesn't get backed up to Google or by anything. So I use, oops, I use a program called SSH Server. And this is really only for the more of you that are familiar with what SSH and SFTP do. This is probably not going to be applicable to everybody. This is how I back up my cell phone to the cloud. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that because we've already been going for an hour. Temp mail, I'm going to skip. Um, Flight Radar is a great little program for tracking airplanes that you might have in the area. Here's airplanes that this group of airplanes right here are by the Sarasota Bradenton Airport. This is where I am right now. There's a couple of planes flying around down here. And if you happen to see a plane flying overhead, you can click on this button called AR, and it will pull up a camera, and you can point your phone up at the sky, and it will try and identify the plane by using its location in the sky. And I've done that, and I've actually found there was a helicopter flying overhead the other day, and I pointed my phone at it, and it told me it was a medevac helicopter, which I thought was kind of interesting. The HTTP file server is a really nice program to have if you're on an Android, because what it does is it turns your Android phone into a web server. So you have to be on the same Wi-Fi as someone else. But but that someone else can be Windows, Mac, Linux, iPhone, Android phone. They just need to have a web browser. And I choose what folder I would like to have shared. And right now I'm sharing all of my pictures. If I click start, it's now sharing on port 8888 all of my pictures. And this is a valid QR code. So you could have somebody on an iPhone or an Android phone scan this QR code and be able to pull up the files that you're sharing on your on here. And if I go to http://192.168.50.12 on colon 8888, it brings up, here's all my files that are on my phone. If I click on camera, here's all my pictures. And you can let anybody grab a picture off your phone or a file off your phone. It doesn't matter what kind of computer they have, as long as they have a web browser that's on the same local Wi-Fi network as you're on. That's kind of neat. So I'm going to turn this off and get out of there. Lightning. If you live in Florida, the Lightning Tracker is a really good program. It will notify you. I have a dog that's afraid of lightning. This notifies me when, in the summertime, in advance, when thunderstorms are approaching. Very good app that I highly recommend if you are concerned about lightning storms. If you're looking for a good two-factor authentication authenticator app, 2FAS Authenticator is a very good application for authentication, and it backs up to Google Drive, and it can back up to a local folder. I'm going to go into security and allow screenshots so that you can actually see it for a second. These are the tokens that are being generated that I can type in. And in settings, you can go in and to back up. I have mine backing up to Google Drive, but you can also import and export. And what's important about this, what I really want to stress about this, is let's say you have a significant other, a husband, a wife, a son, daughter, personal friend, and you would like for them to be able to access your bank account that is protected with two-factor authentication. You can add that 2FA to this program. That other person can run this program on their computer or phone and import a file that you send to them so that they can access your bank, even though your bank requires two-factor authentication that would normally only be available on your own phone. Does that make sense to everybody? Does anybody have a question about that? So this is a way for you to give somebody access to two-factor authentication for something that you have authentication for. Like here's an example. We have for the Stug a Gmail account that has two-factor authentication. If Huey wanted to set up a new device to access the Stug drive, he would be prompted for two-factor authentication. He could load this program in advance, and I could set him up so that he would be able to authenticate to the Google Drive just like I can, even though it's in my name. So this is a really nice app to have in your bag of tricks. The Revo uninstaller. For those of you who are familiar with Revo on Windows, the Revo uninstaller on Windows not only uninstalls your program, but it looks for leftovers. And this does the same thing on your Android phone. It will try and eliminate leftover data that the uninstaller doesn't remove. So this is a good program to have for uninstalling software on your phone. The next program that I wanted to show everybody was Avast Antivirus and Security. This is free, and it even scans all of the files that you install from the Google Play App Store. So let's say the Google Play App Store is infiltrated by a program that's malicious, and you go to install it. Avast is going to scan that app, and it's going to notify you whether it's safe to use or not safe to use. If you download it, it also checks your web browsing. If I go into where do I want to go? Automatic scan, done with ads, hack alert, network inspector, explore. Here we go. Web Shield. This shows that my browsing is secured, so that it's protecting me from malicious websites. If I go into the scan center, I can file scan any file I want. So if you download a file from the internet and you want to find out if it's infected with a virus before you do anything with it, you can click on it and scan it. Good to have an antivirus scanner. ChatGPT is another app that everybody is probably familiar with. If you don't know that there is an app for the Android phone, there is an app for the Android phone, and you can use ChatGPT on your cell phone. Droid VNC is only for people that would like to be able to or need to be able to mirror their cell phone screen onto their computer screen, whether it be on Windows, Mac, or Linux, and you don't have access. I'm using Microsoft Phone Link to replicate my cellular phone onto my screen right now, and I'm using Power Toys to keep this on top, which is why when I click over here, you can still see my cell phone. My cell phone is on top of my Joplin app over here because Power Toys is holding it there. Droid VNC is a way for you to do this if you don't have access to the Windows phone link. Let's say you're going to a website and you want to do a trial of something, and they want your email address, but you don't want to give out your email address because you're just trying something. And you don't want to constantly be handing out your address. This is a way for you to create a 10-minute mail address. So if I go into 10-minute mail, it's going to ask me to try premium. Now I say create new. No thanks. Email address has been expired. So in this one, I have to watch a video in order to.
Every guy who uses Apple 3-piece sets should have this 3-in-1.
Get rid of that. Let's skip over 10-minute mail and go to temp mail. Temp mail doesn't do that. Temp mail just brings you here. They give you an email address, and you can copy it to your clipboard and give that to a website that you're going to sign up for. And then you'll get, if they say they want to send you a confirmation email to verify that you're real, you'll get an email to this address, and then 10 minutes, so that you can verify that you're real. And then a couple hours later, it's gone. So that's that. Google Find My Device. Very good program to have. And for those of you who don't know, uh, you can go into Find My Device and I could look for my Galaxy Watch. I could look for my cell phone. I could look for my tablet. If you don't know where in your house you left it, you can make it beep. You can erase it. And it even operates in guest mode. Let me see if I can shut this off. Force it to stop. Open again. Oh, okay. You can't see the screen. It's blanking it out. There is on my screen, if you run Google Find My Device on your phone, you'll have an option that says continue as Drew or John or Mary or whoever you are. And then there will be another option called sign as guest. So let's say you are out in public somewhere and you drop your phone. You're at the beach, you're at a park. If somebody is gracious enough that has an Android phone, you can ask them and run Google Find My Device and run it as a guest where you're not interfering with their phone. You're logging in with yourself and you can locate your phone in public. So Find My Device. For those of you who use KeePass, Password Manager, as your password manager for Windows or Linux or Mac, KeePass to Android and KeePass DX are the two Android KeePass apps that I use. Plane Finder, I'm not going to go into. It's similar to the other one. It lets you track planes that are overhead and find out what the plane is that's overhead. If you're looking for a good email program, I'm going to recommend Thunderbird for your email. If I run Thunderbird on my phone, you'll see that I have a whole bunch of accounts over here. I've got 2 accounts, 3 accounts, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 accounts, 9 accounts. And this is an app that used to be called K9 Mail. And the Thunderbird organization acquired the K9 organization and created Thunderbird for Android. And what's nice about this is that if you already have Thunderbird set up on your computer and you already have all your email accounts set up, when you first run Thunderbird and it has never been run before and there are no accounts, it will let you communicate and scan a QR code on your Windows computer screen, and it will import all of your email accounts and set up your cell phone for you all at once. Really neat. The magnifying glass is one that many of you, this is one that I recommend that all of you have. We're not going to unlock all the features. If you're in a restaurant and it's dark, your cell phone has a camera, but it doesn't zoom, and it has a flashlight that doesn't zoom. This is an app that turns on your flashlight and also lets you zoom in and out so that you can read the menu in a dark restaurant. I put Find My Car apps in here. If you park your car um, in a parking lot at a shopping mall. You just get out when you get out of your car, you click on the park button, and then when you're ready to look for your car again, you click on Find My Car, and it will direct you to your car. I found this very handy when I parked in a central parking lot on St. Armand Circle, and I needed to go to a restaurant and then find my way back to the parking lot. This is a very good app for doing that. And then the very last app that I have on my list is Microsoft Lens PDF scanner. I use this to scan business cards, receipts, documents. If you don't have a document scanner at home, your printer doesn't have a scanner, Microsoft Lens is a really good document scanner. And you can even put, let me see if I can do this on the fly. I'm going to, no, I don't want more free apps. I'm going to open up Microsoft Lens, and you'll see that it is looking at the business card that's on my laptop. And if I hit the button, it's going to grab a copy of that business card and only that business card. It didn't capture a picture of my whole laptop. It just grabbed the card. So now I have that business card. That's a really neat program. And then you can say done, and you can store it to the gallery on your phone. You can store it on your Microsoft OneDrive, OneNote. You can convert it into a Word document if you want to. And mine by default goes to my OneDrive. So this is a nice tool to have for scanning things. You get caught in an accident and you need to exchange documents with somebody, and you need to get a photograph of their driver's license, their insurance card, their registration. You can pull out your phone with Microsoft Lens, and doesn't matter if they're holding it in their hand. It will only capture the card or the document. Very nice to have if you need it. And that is the end of the list. So, are there any questions?
If you'll stop sharing your screen.
Yes, I will stop sharing.
I posted in chat that the entire presentation will be made available several different ways. Number one, we have a Google group that many of you are members of that CFCS sends out notices. And we will send out a link to the video along with a copy of Drew's written presentation as an attachment. If you are a member of our Discord BBS, we will be posting it, both the video for the meeting and then Drew's presentation in the Android channel. If you would like to join either the Google group or the Discord BBS, the links are on our website. I'm just going to very quickly show that again. And thank you, King Drew, for sharing your information on software. So again, the links for the Discord are here in the center, cfcs.org. And then if you're not a member of the CFCS Google group, you can click here. It will be a link to your email client. It will send me a request and you just say, please add me to the group, and we will add you to it. That will also get you our announcements, and then it'll get you the link to the video and Drew's article. Any follow-on questions?
Tom Hirsch, you have your hand raised.
Hi, Drew. Thank you for that excellent presentation. I have a question for you about
you mentioned Revo uninstaller. On my phone, there are a number of apps that I did not install there, and apparently they were sneaked in when I installed another app. And I have not found any way to uninstall these unwanted apps. And I'm wondering if Revo installer will do that, or if there's some other app that will get rid of these unwanted things that don't show up when you go into the listing of apps.
If it doesn't show up as an app that's installed, it may not find it, but the only way that you'll know is if you try it. I can't guarantee that it will work for you, but you can try it.
All right, thanks.
Bill James?
I was just say, Tom, are those system files?
They are not system files. They are like games and other stuff that I am, never going to use, and I just would like to get them off the phone.
Okay. If it's an icon, what I would do is just on the icon for that particular game is just do a hard press and then swipe it up to the top and you'll see remove and that will uninstall it.
All right, well, I'll try that and see if that works. Thanks, Bill.
Oh, and also, just for those of you who haven't looked in the chat, Huey Poplock put into the chat a local send video that he did. I believe it was for Tech for Senior. I'm not sure. But he put the link to his video on local send. Thank you, Huey. And Steve Parker.
Yeah, where in Discord is the PDF?
It isn't there. It
Well,
isn't there yet.
It's not
Oh,
there
okay.
yet.
Yeah.
But it will be under what, the Windows
It'll
6?
be under Android.
Okay.
What I might be able to do.
What I'd like to do is work with you on that, Drew. I know you did a lot of work on putting this together. If you'll send me the document form of that, I will put a whole bunch of links, one for each item that's there, and then turn it into PDF and make that available.
Right now, that document is inside Joplin, so it's not a Word file, but
Export.
I'll find a way to get it to you so that you can edit it and get it back to me or post it.
Yeah.
I'll figure something out.
Okay.
Oh, and Mike, I tried that free file sync. That thing works a treat and a half.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I mean, you're able to synchronize like 60 terabytes of stuff in a matter of minutes and transfer them all back and forth, and does a fantastic job.
Just as a comment on free file sync, John Kennedy is going to do a presentation on that in March, one of the workshops.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Free file sync is what I use to back up my Android phone using the SFTP server app that I showed everybody.
Any other questions? Well, we thank you for sticking around for the second half of today's double presentations. Good turnout from everybody. Share the information with your friends and with your user groups, and we welcome you again in March on the second Sunday. Any last minute comment, Huey? Okay, I'm going to stop. Oh, go ahead. I heard somebody about to ask a question.
No, I said I'm
okay. All right.
I was going to say you didn't miss any of the Daytona 500. It's on a weather delay, so in case you wanted to watch that,
I've got a recording. I got a recording anyway. Okay, I'm going to stop recording.